one, yeah.
Action.
If we were real professionals, we would do manual transition, and like second one would be like, hello, and we'd have like someone behind the camera going.
We just need to take like an hour or two to kind of mess around with that stuff because you bring up the YouTube, the what do you call it? There's a thing.
Yeah, there's a thing.
As you can see, we're done this many times before.
The thing, say no more.
Yeah, in the live thing.
The live
ingestion
studio
thing. With the,
yeah, right. The preview. Anyway, welcome to Awesome Hardware, episode 194, side B. If you missed side A, you can check it out on Paul's channel, youtube.com/Paul's Hardware, or you can find the link to his channel in my description, or just if you can go
live control room.
Live control room is the magic Wheel of Fortune word phrase that we were thinking of.
Please, sorry, continue.
Divided E for 1200. Okay, so yeah, we do things. We sell things on our stores. Wow, where are we? Bitwit.tech is my store. Buy something. I'm starving. I need food. Buy a fucking shirt.
So
oh, I'm sorry. You're so hungry. Just buy something, please. Even if you don't like it, just help us. Screw with Confidence shirts are back in stock. It's bottle openers. They're great for opening bottles.
Look at that.
Mugs and pint glasses. It's beautiful.
Look at that right there.
Paul also sells things because he's also a starving child.
You need this.
You need that.
Look at that polo shirt.
Everything on our stores is competing with Amazon Prime deals at the moment. Just record low prices.
Way better quality.
Mouse pads, hoodies. Buy a polo shirt from Paul, mother effers. And this is a good time to introduce our adult warning, adult language warning. Don't listen to the stream if you have sensitive ears or if you're a bitch.
What?
I don't know where this is coming from. It's time for a revolution. Things have been the same for too long. We're just gonna turn this shit upside down. Let's flip the script, baby.
That's perfect.
All right.
Gotta keep this going.
I'm sure everyone's leaving now.
Wow.
All right. So we like to drink occasionally on the show. So if you do too, cheers for currently drinking. Arrogant bastard.
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm crying now.
Oh yeah.
Damn it.
This is the stuff streams are made out of.
Wow.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us.
Adult language warning. Stop watching. Just don't watch the show. Okay.
Don't do it. Just click that X. Click that big X.
Oh, that's what I need. I need your chat up.
And we'll probably sell more shirts on this stream than any other stream with the worst advertisement ever. All right, so as the title of my half suggests, we're going to be going over some Amazon Prime deals.
Yay.
I spent a good 20 minutes, maybe, looking up Amazon Prime deals. So I'm just going to tell it to you guys straight. I'm shooting straight with you. These may not be the best deals on the site, but these were deals that stood out to me in that 20-minute time span that I thought, hey, this is something I can talk about. So let's... Is this shit too real? Are y'all feeling this too much right now? I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. Who the fuck am I kidding? All right, let's talk about the first product. Let's talk about the first item.
If you wanted the Amazon Prime Day deals, brought to you by a cursory glance at the front page. Well, hey, at least you bought this before. You purchased this.
Yes. And I actually, when I saw this deal, it made me mad because I've actually bought 3 of these. I bought 3 of these at the same time for $100 a piece.
Wow.
I spent $300 on these fucking webcams before, and now they're on sale for $40.
$40.
So I figured, hey, if I can't get that terrible moment back and redo it all, maybe you guys can do it from the get-go.
Face is leaking.
I know. Oh my god. Plumbing.
Everyone buy 4 of these.
So I think this is a good deal. It's 1080p. It's a good webcam.
C920 is an old standby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it on almost every system. All right. The next one is, and these are like the title also suggests, these are genuinely deals that I thought, okay, these are pretty good. Because there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of garbage deals on Prime Day, in case you weren't aware. These ones are actually pretty decent. Delivered to... Oh. Okay. Maybe you can sign out?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
You got
Just
items in your
some
cart.
personal info. Shit just got super serious all of a
It's
sudden.
very minor.
It's very minor.
Um,
Anyone who really wants to find me already knows my exact coordinates.
It's not that hard.
It's terrifying.
Why can't you sign up
So,
of Amazon anymore?
just
There
to
it
also shamelessly plug, links to all of this stuff is in my video description on YouTube. They are affiliate links, so I will profit if you happen to buy something from those links, just so you're aware. Feel free to use them or not.
is. Signing out removed your name.
Really?
Which is fine, yeah.
It's still there? Like the information?
Because it goes by your IP, I think. So,
That's so...
yeah.
That's annoying. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Totally fine. Okay, so the second item...
I need a Kleenex or
Oh, no.
a tissue or
I
something.
have a paper towel.
Paper towel would be perfect. Just need
This
that
is the
little
first
bit of-
time that
that's
paper
gorgeous.
towel roll will not be
Beautiful.
used for something other than thermal paste.
Oh, that's good.
Paul's Tears. This is my thermal paste and
like,
Paul's Tears paper towel roll.
Okay,
great
fine. Everything's fine.
Great for thermal interface material and the salty tears of Paul. Oh, you can go in incognito mode and then maybe it won't show up. Someone suggested. But if it's just a little bit of info, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
minor.
So the second item, whew,
This hard drive.
yeah, it's a solid state hybrid drive.
SSD.
2 terabyte Seagate FireCuda. It's a 2.5-inch drive, so it can fit in a lot more places than a typical 3.5-inch drive can, especially since a lot of cases these days are slowly reducing the number of 3.5-inch drive trays. It's a really nice drive, actually. I've used this plenty of times. It's a hybrid, so it's got sort of like a small area for SSD, like a kind of cache storage. So frequently used files and programs and stuff like that are saved to the cache, partially to the cache, so that you get faster load times and stuff. But you still get the benefit of having a large capacity without having to spend an arm and a leg, especially with a prime deal of, what, $60, down from 100.
$60.
Down from 100. 2 gigs. I'm sorry, 2 gigs. 2 terabytes. Don't quote me on that. 2 terabytes of solid state-ish storage for $60. Not too bad. The other item I have on here was the Razer Deathadder.
Oh, the Deathadder.
Razer Deathadder. I've actually never used this mouse, but it's...
Really?
I've never used it.
Such a good mouse.
I know, and that's exactly why I put it on here, because I know that this is a huge mouse. This is like a widely popular mouse that kind of revolutionized gaming mice for a good portion of time. And now it's on sale for 35 freaking bucks. I believe it was like $90 when it first launched years and years ago, but this is a tried and true option.
They've had a bunch of different variations of it. And
Yes,
stuff.
yeah, but this seems to be the original, just straight, no frills, forward and back button, doesn't have like a crazy amount, it's not an MMO mouse or whatever, it's probably great for FPS, things like that. Motherfucker. 16,000 DPI sensor, what more do you want? Probably a better awesome hardware episode. And then we also have a 480 gig SanDisk SSD. This is the SSD Plus for going for $59. So pretty much the same price as what was that other item? The FireCuda. So you can either get a 2 terabyte hybrid drive or you can get this SSD. 480 gigs is a really nice capacity for a boot drive. Has plenty of room for Windows and frequently used applications. These are great drives. I have several of them that I use regularly.
Or you can get the 1 terabyte version for $108.
There is a 1 terabyte version for just over $100 too, and that's also a great deal. So there's that, and there's finally. I didn't want to like inundate, just overwhelm you guys with products, so I only have 5 today. The Acer Nitro Bg 240Y. This is roughly a 24-inch panel, full HD 1920 by 1080. It is IPS, has FreeSync, and is 1 millisecond response time. 75 hertz refresh rate, by the way. So, and I think 75 hertz refresh is pretty good for a 1080p panel, since the GPU that you're probably pairing with a 1080p panel isn't capable of delivering super high frames anyway. So 75 seems to be a nice sweet spot. And this is only $100, or just over $100, down from roughly 170, 180. So I thought this was a pretty good deal, actually.
I always feel like the kind of the entry-level starting point for anyone who just needs a basic monitor to get them by is like a 1080 monitor that's usually around 24 inches.
Yeah.
That you can get for around $100.
Yep.
So this is like that, but it's IPS. And FreeSync and 75 hertz. That's really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Especially, I think FreeSync is more effective at lower frame rates.
Yes.
So
definitely.
So that's not bad at all. $110.
Yeah, $110. It's
Good job, pal.
pretty nice. Actually, my first display ever was a 1920 by 1080 panel. Or I should say the monitor that I first started PC gaming on, which sadly was only like 2011. But it was a 24-inch 1080p, and I love that monitor. I actually still have it in the garage. But obviously back then there was no adaptive refresh rate, so it didn't have FreeSync or anything like that. But so this one will probably be a lot better. It's got nice, sexy thin bezels and stuff. But that's pretty much my Amazon Prime Day deals segment. Again, I wanted to keep it really brief again because it's just a bunch of sales and shit. Yeah, good luck if you happen to buy anything from there. Hopefully it works out for you. Let's move on to the second segment of my half, which is PIMP.MY.PC. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you that I've chosen to critically examine and critique your builds, and tell you how you're wrong and how to make it better. Starting with JW421 with an 8600K, a GTX 1070 Strix, 32 gigs of Vengeance Pro 3200 with an H100i V2 and an H700i.
So I had to switch to PIMP.MY.PC and the device was not available again. I had to update it.
Oh, no.
It's fine. It's fine.
It just seems to be the running theme of today's show.
I'm gonna save this presentation.
Yes, I'm sorry. I will not fuck with it again after seeing all the pain it's caused.
Oh, that's July 18. It's July 19 now.
Oh yeah, makes it an easy transition.
Beautiful. All right.
Just a
what
one-number
do we got here?
So yeah, I think we're looking at JW's. JW. And he's got a pretty nice system here, actually. It's like 90% all the way there. Nice rubber ducky chilling on the SSD.
Yeah.
I like how it sort of matches. Like there's like, is that a painted wing? It has like a green, oh, it's a surfboard maybe. It's got glasses on the surfboard.
It's carrying a surfboard.
Yeah, okay. And the surfboard actually matches your RGB lighting, which is fantastic. The yellow sticks out a little bit, but it, yellow and green kind of complement each other. Green is sort of a yellowish-based color. So yeah, we're talking about a rubber duck in someone's computer right now. We also have very nice sleeved cables. I feel like they could be trained a little bit. They seem a little frazzled there. Maybe you could tighten them up with some additional cable ties, or I'm sorry, trainers, cable combs. And I think everything else looks pretty good. Cable management is like a 9 out of 10. I feel like things could be tucked away a little bit better on the PCIe from your graphics card, and again, just tidying it up. It also looks like you've got your radiator at the front for your AIO, with the fans doing a push configuration. That's totally fine. I think everything else is matching really nicely. I feel like your component choice and selection seems really, it seems to mesh really well. I like how you have that gray Noctua fan at the back of the case that really matches the gray accents on your motherboard. I think that was well thought out. There is a bit of orange on your SSD that's on the power supply shroud, which, you could spray paint that square if you wanted to. It's such a small piece of color that it probably doesn't matter much. But
make it green.
But if you're all about the details, the finer details, making it green like Paul suggested, or some other matching color, would be very easy because it's just a square. It's very easy to mask off. It would take you no time at all. Not much effort, but altogether, a very nice system. I feel like your AIO tubes are a little bit wacky coming from the water block. I feel like I've seen it look cleaner coming off of that particular AIO.
There might be a twist in there that
it might be unavoidable.
Yeah.
Depending on if you are having to put the RAD at the front, which I would recommend. I would recommend that you put your CPU RAD at the front when possible. So. Don't worry too much about it, but those are the suggestions that I had in mind. Anything, Paul?
No, I agree. I think if you did a pass on this case for aesthetics, cleaned up the cables, and did that little green patch on the SSD,
right?
You're great. It looks really good as is, though.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you very much. Next we have Nibley, or Devin, hashtag PIMP.MY.PC, AMD Ryzen 5 2600 with an MSI GTX 1050 Ti, a Gigabyte A320M S2H motherboard with a Corsair VS400 PSU, 16 gigs of DDR4, Corsair Carbide Spec 05 case with an NZXT Kraken X52, and a couple drives there. All right, so I think we should talk about your actual hardware first, like your part selection. Ryzen 5 2600 is a fantastic choice. I think if you wanted to invest any more money into this build, I would suggest getting a faster GPU. GTX 1050 Ti is a great value GPU. At least it was back when it was a bit more relevant. But now you can get something a bit more substantial that's going to really go a long way in terms of delivering higher frames, outputting more frames. That's also not going to break the bank. Something like an RTX 2060 or perhaps a GTX 1660 Ti. I think those would both be good options that you could look at because the Ryzen 5 2600 definitely has enough juice to pair nicely with either of those options. You wouldn't be necessarily super bottlenecked by either of those choices. Also, you have an A320 motherboard, which does not allow you to overclock that Ryzen 5 2600, so that's additional free performance that you're missing out on. And if you're so inclined, I would suggest looking into upgrading the motherboard at some point to at least a B350 or even perhaps a B450 board to really take advantage fully of that chip, because there's a lot of performance that you're leaving on the table in its current state. Apart from that, the rest of the system looks pretty good. I would say that aesthetically, you definitely need to work on cable management, and I feel like your case is holding you back in that regard because there's just not a lot of good routing options in that Spec 05. That's actually the case that we used for Wi-Fi Sauce and I's cable management contest recently, mainly because it was such a terribly cable management driven focused case. We thought it would be a good challenge. So
could the cooler be flipped here to put the tubing on the top?
Yeah.
Which is generally a better idea for an all-in-one anyway. And then that would maybe allow you to rotate this 45 degrees so the NZXT logo would be facing the right direction.
Yeah.
And the wiring here would be going up.
Right. You should definitely be able to do that.
Pass it back there.
That's definitely possible because that's an Asetek cooler that you can just rotate the bracket.
We also have a pretty, this is a 400 watt power supply, which is fine for this build, but if you did any upgrades, especially for the graphics card, that would not be sufficient.
Right.
And it doesn't have good cabling anyway, so. And then we have to give a shout out to the 500 gig mechanical hard drive, just kind of chilling down there at the bottom at a jaunty 45, 30-degree angle, just chilling, just on its side, as hard drives are meant to be.
If it was an SSD, I'd let it slide a little bit more because there's no moving parts, but this is very unsafe. This is like bad practice, especially if you have valuable files on there.
Aren't there some mounting points behind this little tray here?
You have 3.5-inch mounting point. Maybe it was just like his cable management was already so tight, he just gave up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
again,
hey, just plug everything in so it works.
Another reason for a new
make sure you
case.
have some LED fans to accent things, I guess. Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Israel. Core i7 8700K with a Cooler Master Hyper 212, ASRock Z390 motherboard, and we have an EVGA GeForce GTX 770 with 4 gigs. I'm sorry, 2x4 gigs. So 8 gigs of Team Group DDR4 at 2400 with a Samsung 970 EVO Plus, and looks like we have an NZXT H200 case. So. All right, so we're working with the mini ITX here, right? Interesting build, right?
Yeah, pretty modern, up-to-date processor. That's a Hyper 212 black cooler, so that's pretty new as well. Z390 motherboard.
Right.
Graphics card, several generations old.
Yeah.
I believe that's a 770 classified though, which is a good card.
Yeah.
I have one of those.
Right.
But still, definitely old at this point. Could seriously use an upgrade there.
Your 8700K can handle a lot more.
Yeah.
Horsepower.
We have a 2x4 gig kit of memory. You definitely want to upgrade that to 2x8 gigs, ideally.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be good. You got a nice SSD. Clean looking build overall.
Very clean.
The cable management is, with what you're working with, you've done a great job there. It seems like maybe an older system that was upgraded some of the core components, but maybe brought the memory and graphics card over.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't think we really have any complaints aesthetically here. Just that you've got a couple parts that are kind of showing their age compared to some of the newer and nicer components that you have.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see those brought up to snuff.
He needs some intake fans too. There's no intake.
There's no intake. Oh.
Maybe there's one at the bottom that I can't see, but it doesn't look like there's
a negative pressure build.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of intake coming from the front at all. So maybe adding some fans as well. This is one of those rare PIMP.MY.PC submissions that is like almost entirely, like all of our suggestions are functionally based as opposed to form. Because the form looks really good. It looks like, it's like perfect, you know? But it's just the part selection, I think, is what you need to focus on. Nice build though.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Israel. Next up we have Mr. Chef.
Mr. Chef.
Mr. Chef with an Intel Core i7 6700K, Gigabyte GA Z170X motherboard, HyperX Fury 16 gigs of DDR4 with an MSI GTX 1070. And other notable specs include a Corsair Spec 03 tower. Okay. Wow. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Looks very cluttered.
Dang. Looks like it's down on the floor, so I'm going to give you I'm going to ding you for that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Make a stand, get it up off the floor.
Case off floor.
You'll get a lot less dust accumulation over time.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We
Yeah,
have some clear white LED fans in the front that aren't doing you any favors when it comes to aesthetics.
Yeah.
Maybe providing a bit of light inside the case. This picture was also taken with a flash, though, which is probably not also doing very many favors to just... I mean, hey, we're seeing everything very clearly.
Yeah.
Component selection is good. We have like pretty much like an all black system with like maybe a little bit of red accents on the graphics card. So if this was not down on the floor with a bundle of ugly cables behind it, if the cable management from the from the power supply was cleaned up and a lot of this excess was tucked back behind the motherboard tray. If you didn't have like a big old loop of cable coming off of your the fan on your Crare rig, what is that, an H7?
Yeah, H7.
This would look a lot cleaner. Also point out that your rear fan is set as an intake, not as an exhaust.
Yeah, I was going to point that out.
You'd probably want to flip that around. Most configurations would have that as an exhaust. While you're at it, you know, pull everything out and give it a good cleaning because it looks like it could use that.
Definitely.
Yeah. All that aside, you could ignore us completely and probably continue to use this as a useful, functional computer. But hey, if you want it to look pretty, and you're sending it into PIMP.MY.PC, we're going to tell you what to do to make it look pretty.
That's right.
Get it off the damn floor.
Get it off the fucking floor!
Stupid computer off floor. Okay.
God damn it.
Thank you for your
Thank you very much. We appreciate your patronage. Med Amine. Core i7 9700K. Ooh. Gigabyte RTX 2080 WindForce. Ooh. NZXT 500i Kraken X52. 1 terabyte hard drive. Still waiting for the SSD. Corsair Vengeance Pro. 16 gigs. 3200 speed. Z398 Pro. Very, very nice specs. What is that motherboard?
It's a brown PCB motherboard. They're doing that with Z390?
What? That looks like the most budget Z390 board I've ever seen. Why?
Hold on.
Why? I mean, you had money to spend on a 9700K and an RTX 2080. Why would you skimp out on such a entry-level motherboard? I mean...
Oh, it's an MSI.
I mean, at least it's Z390, but what is really the point of buying a Z390 motherboard if it can probably hardly overclock better than, you know, an H, what is it? What's the non-overclock version of Z390? I know there's a couple, but I'm drawing a blank right now.
I don't care.
B350, then a B350 motherboard. I mean, there's like no heat sinks, like pretty much hardly on the VRM.
Look how misleading their product pictures are. This is a Newegg product picture of it. That looks black, right?
Yeah, no, it's very misleading.
That looks black. That looks black. Then look at it in this picture. That's brown. So brown.
Oh my gosh. Because, I mean, when you buy a 9700K, you buy it to overclock because it can be pushed so far and deliver such incredible gains with some manual tweaking. But it's all a moot point if you don't have a motherboard that, which is why it's like, why even manufacture a Z390 motherboard like this? This is a board of quality for a non-K SKU chip, in my opinion.
We're also running off of a hard drive.
Yes, he said the SSD's on the way. So
that's fine.
That'll be added.
But it's not
shortly.
there yet.
But it's not there
it's
yet.
Running off a hard drive. So that's bad.
You said there was a cat? Oh, yeah, there's a cat.
There's a cat right
the cat's brown like the motherboard. Maybe he bought the motherboard to match the cat.
It matches.
It all makes sense. It's all connecting the dots. No, I still don't approve. You could just change the motherboard and I would let everything else slide because that's by far the worst part about the build.
It is very sad that motherboard stands out so much.
I've never even seen that board before. I didn't know that board existed. I feel like I knew all the Z390 boards, and this just surprised me.
How much money did MSI save by having that board be brown? I don't know.
No, not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough to be worth it.
All right, we got one more.
Uno más from
ZypherKid.
ZypherKid. ZypherKid has an AMD Ryzen 7 2700 with a GTX 660.
Okay.
And Corsair Vengeance LPX DDR4 16 gigabytes with a 256 gig WD Blue SSD. That is an old GPU, even older than the classified EVGA GTX 770 we just saw.
True.
So, and you also have a very nice CPU. Ryzen 7 2700 is definitely no slouch. So I would first dump my money. I mean, screw pimping things out until you actually have a well-balanced system. Upgrade your GPU. And get something within, even in the $250 to $350 range, is just gonna scream compared to that 660. It's gonna demolish it.
I'm kind of disappointed he didn't list the specs for his optical drive here. Like, is that a 24x, 32x?
Oh yeah, you're right. Is that a read-write combo drive?
It does look like we have LightScribe support, which I'm very much a fan of. LightScribe is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Is that a light on? Is that an Asus? Is that
yeah, just fill out the details here. That's what we're looking for when it comes to PIMP.MY.PC.
Jeez Louise. But apart from that, you could use, apart from a new GPU, ketchup and mustard is something we generally frown upon here in PIMP.MY.PC. So if you want to get some extensions or just a new power supply, probably extensions are going to be the cheaper, more practical way to go, especially if you have additional room for cable management. The sticker on your SSD doesn't look all that great with your color scheme. If it was like a blue and black or white themed build, then perhaps, but I would just remove it, just take a heat gun to it, or if you can find a way to peel it off otherwise, that would just kind of clean it up, make it blend in a bit more with the background. I think everything else looks good. I mean, you've got sort of this RGB cooler, right? You've got a Wraith cooler on there, as well as a white LED fan at the rear. So maybe if you wanted to configure all the LEDs to white, then you could have sort of white LEDs with red trim on your actual case, or you can go, I don't know, swap that out for a red LED fan or something like that.
I'm also kind of curious what this expansion card is down there.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Hard to say.
Maybe some additional USB of some sort. I'm not sure. But I also see two mismatched fans at your front intake. Those, I see a Cooler Master up top and a Be Quiet fan at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted some more uniformity.
And I believe that's a Corsair for the exhaust. So wow.
Yeah.
What a combination.
Right. Yep. You got the whole family there. So I don't know. Making things more uniform is generally good practice for a cleaner, nicer looking build. But everything else looks pretty decent. And obviously, I think you are limited in your cable management abilities with the particular case that you're using, which you did not specify. So I'm not exactly sure. Oh, it is a Cooler Master. It's a budget. It's an entry-level Cooler Master case. Now that I'm seeing the wide shot, so if you wanted to clean up cable management, make it look really nice and tidy, especially if you're getting some extensions in there in the future, maybe consider upgrading your chassis. I'm sure you would get much better airflow as well because the air intake on this looks very limited. And if you're upgrading your GPU, it's going to probably run a little bit hotter than your GTX 660. You're going to want a bit more fresh air coming through the front. But thank you very much, ZypherKid. That is going to conclude it for PIMP.MY.PC.
Yay.
Thank you. Gracias to everyone who submitted. If we didn't catch you this time, maybe we'll catch you on the next one. That's also going to conclude it for my half. Unless you want to do Q&A. We should do Q&A.
Yeah, I mean...
Yes.
Right?
Yes, people paid us.
Because we don't have an after party.
People gave us money. We don't have an after party today, so we're going to read off donations and all the comments that you attach to them. Starting with, We the People Have Spoken donated $5 on Paul's half with no comment.
Oh, well, that's kind of you. Thank you, We the People Have Spoken, for not speaking.
You know, like they say, money talks.
It's true. Bullshit.
So if money and bullshit walks.
Walks? Is that what it does?
I don't know. I've never seen bullshit walk. Usually just lays there on the ground. MB67, $13.37. Thank you, Mike. Paul, there's no way to say this without it sounding bad, but that was a nice video about wooden standoffs. Cheers.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you appreciated it. I learned a lot, and I have a few options for the future.
I'm curious to see, I'm interested to see how that turns out. Looks promising.
I want to move forward with it quickly. There just keeps being products at launch and stuff. That's what I'm blaming, right?
Thank you very much, Mike. We have 50 Norwegian krona from Arild Stolen.
Arild.
His comment says, "Say my name," which I'm saying. I already said. Arild Stolen.
Arild.
Hopefully you don't get confused with Stalin, because that's probably not going to do you many favors.
Stalin for time.
100 more Norwegian krona. Also from Arild Stolen. Say my name again, I guess. Okay. Arild Stolen. Stolen. What does the O mean when it's
stole the name?
What's the stolen? What's the O mean when it's got a slash through it?
It means you got to put some stank on it.
Arild Stolen. Stolen.
Yeah, exactly.
Arild Stolen. Thank you very much, Arild Stolen.
Ooh, we got a Bastion soot skin.
Hope I didn't butcher it too bad. Crafty Hack, thanks Crafty. You don't have to donate. You're moderating. We should be paying you, but don't quote us on that. $5. Fun baby facts for Paul. Babies can't taste salt and have no kneecaps.
What?
Wait, your baby doesn't have kneecaps?
Yes, she does.
What kind of deformed baby did you birth?
She's perfect in every single way. I'm offended that you would even suggest otherwise.
The absence of kneecaps in my firstborn child.
Yes, she's got beautiful kneecaps and shut up.
But can she taste salt?
Why? All she drinks is breast milk, so why would she need to taste salt? There's no point.
Then I guess she doesn't taste it. Then she can't taste salt. If she can't eat it, she can't taste it. Yeah. So technically, one of those is correct. Crafty is only half a liar. Thank you, Crafty. True. We love you. Eric Bruenningsen. Eric Bruenningsen. Eric Bruenningsen. $5. How good are Hue 2 Air fans? Currently using 2 Fractal Design 140mm intakes, 2 Meshify stock exhausts as well. Can I get positive pressure with 3 120 Air exhaust fans and 2 140 intakes? Eric, more or less, if you're using 3 120 Air exhausts, let's say you're using 3 120 exhausts and 2 140 intakes, I haven't done the scientific measurements, if I'm speaking honestly, to determine whether or not it's positive or negative air pressure. My guess is that you're going to be somewhere close to neutral air pressure, which is not necessarily a terrible thing. I would just keep a close eye on your temperatures, and as long as those look good and you're willing to clean out your case, your chassis every time it gets too dusty, I think you're safe. As for how good or well performing the Hue 2 Air fans are, I've heard mostly good things about them. They are flashy RGB fans that are destined or are meant or intended to look good above all else. But I've also heard that they provide pretty good airflow if you're using them as case fans. I do not have any recollection of how they perform as radiator fans or how good the static pressure is on them. So you would have to do some more research there if you're planning to strap them to, say, a radiator for an AIO or something like that. Meshify.
To give you a scientific, the closest to a scientific measurement that I could, 3 120mm fans is a total area of 14,400 or 43,000. I'm sorry, 14,400 per. Oh crap! I need to choose. We only have one healer.
Welcome to our new segment, Multitasking with Paul.
Anyway, point being, 39,200 for the two 140s and 43,200 for the three 120s. So the three 120s should give you a bit more intake. That's just looking at their area, so it's probably incorrect, but I'm just doing
it's something.
Quick math while I'm trying to play Overwatch. So.
Sure. All right, well, for what it's worth, there you go. Make your choice. Sel, stop donating, damn it.
Damn it, Sel.
God damn it.
We love you, Sel.
Hey, Paul, thank you for introducing me to the Cooler Master 360 triple fans. That is an awesome solution. I had to pick one up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That is a pretty cool product that I think you nailed it on the head with the title or thumbnail. Like, why didn't anyone think of this sooner?
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of a no-brainer.
For me, it was very much like I build systems way, like, all the time.
Yes.
Wow, I died?
Right.
Okay. And especially if you're trying to build a system for a video and get it put together and get all the lights working and everything.
Yeah.
If you got 6 fans to connect up, each with their own RGB controls.
Yes.
That freaking sucks.
That's a shit ton.
So it was so much quicker, that build I did, to install 2 of those versus the alternative. So
that is super cool, actually. And I think in order for that solution to have surfaced, there needed to be a great enough problem that existed for long enough. And I feel like
adding the RGB is what really, I think, kind of
exactly. RGB being relatively new in the grand scheme of things to the PC DIY market, I think it eventually, at some point, someone thought, that person being Cooler Master, we need to optimize this a bit. So, very cool product. It was a great video, Paul. Next up, we have MB67 for $13.37. Kyle, elite donation to help feed you and Wifey Sauce. Cheers. Thank you very much. I would estimate $10 of that will go to Wifey Sauce, and the $3.37 will go to me, because Wifey Sauce just tends to eat more than I do, but I seem to gain twice as much weight as her. It's just not fair. Such is life. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate the donation as always. Sel, stop it. Sel, fucker. I had to earmuffs this whole episode. How was the show?
What earmuffs?
Because Sel and his fragile, sensitive ears,
cursing.
his virgin ears,
very easily offended.
How was the show? It was good. Obviously, it would have been better had you listened to all of it.
Yep.
I'm sure there are Twitch clips surfacing at this
always
very
better
moment.
with audio.
Thank you very much, Sel. Crafty again.
Hey,
fucker.
Crafty.
Thank you, Crafty.
Appreciate
You guys
the
don't have to
donation.
donate. You guys are off the hook, but thank you nonetheless. Fun facts for Kyle. Sea otters hold hands while they sleep.
Really? Oh,
wow.
That's so cute.
That's very impressive, because I cannot even be within remote distance of Wifey Sauce when we sleep. Otherwise, I can't sleep. And she's the same way. If I just sense her breathing, if I sense her existing or living, I can't sleep very well, and she's the same way. We actually put a body pillow in between us when we sleep, because we have a king-size bed now. And so we have a body pillow in between us, so we have this little wall. When we say goodnight to each other, we have to put our heads up over the pillow and be like, good night, all right, and kiss, and go back down. Because it separates her and I so that we can sleep better. Because because she moves around a lot. She moves around a lot when she sleeps. Her butt will be in my side, like a thorn in my side. I'm pretty still. I'm mostly, I don't really move. I'm like a rock. But she'll just flang around or whatever.
I see.
That's a word. And it's terrible. So sea otters being able to hold hands while they sleep, it's like someone cuddling, while they're asleep. I don't know how couples do that. Some couples just embrace each other while they sleep, and they can just sleep the whole night while their arms are around each other and stuff. I can't even. Well, my wife needs to be literally dead in order for me to get a good night's sleep.
That's one of those things that you sort of idealize when you're younger, and then when you actually hook up or whatever, and you're in a situation where you're lying down next to someone, and you both want to sleep, and you realize this is completely impractical.
Yeah,
like hugging and embracing the whole time.
Yep.
I need to move around and stuff.
Exactly.
We don't have
it's one of those misconceptions.
We don't have to put a barrier in between us, though. Your wife must be very violent in her night throws.
She is.
Or whatever.
She's literally woken up in the middle of, it was really weird. This actually happened. She woke up and, no, I shouldn't say she woke up. I woke up and I looked at her and we were both laying down. Bear in mind, our heads were we're laying down on the bed. I opened my eyes and she's staring right at me. Her eyes are open. She's looking directly at me. And it's the first thing I see when I wake up, and I'm half asleep, I'm just tired, so I'm just looking at her, waiting for her to say something or do something. And out of nowhere, she just raises her arm and just karate chops me in the forehead. She karate chops me in the head, and then she closes her eyes and goes back to sleep. And I was so confused. I was like, what literally just happened? And when I went back to sleep, and after an hour, we both woke up, and I was like, so what was that all about? Why did you remember like chopping me in the head? She had no idea. Oh, actually, she said that in her dream, she had a dream that she was cutting a sandwich in half.
Oh, thank you.
And apparently I was the sandwich.
She chopped your head with that.
But it was so bizarre because her eyes were wide open and she was looking straight at me, so I thought she was awake. And that's why we have a body pillow in between us when we sleep now, is for my protection.
Hey, look, somebody who knows that I'm playing on your account is in this game with us.
What? Oh, really?
Just said hi, Paul. Code is here.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
All right, sorry for that tangent. Let's move on. Logan G, $4.99. Recommendations for the best 1440p IPS monitor available. Ooh.
1440 IPS.
Oh, I feel like that market's so saturated now. I don't even know what's...
That's a good question. I don't have the answer to it off the top of my head.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Go-to brands, but I mean, you could even find like brands that aren't super top tier, but are still really good value, like AOC, or even like a lot of Korean-based companies are being super competitive with their 1440p IPS displays.
Yeah, there's lots of options.
Obviously, Acer, Asus, even guys like MSI and now Gigabyte are starting to like output and release new monitors that are within that spec.
We got a pharmacy going up here.
Woo! Gigabyte's 1440p IPS monitor is really nice. The one that we saw at CES earlier this year, Paul.
Oh yeah.
That has just like a ton of OSD features and just like a gamut of options.
It's a full gamut.
But there's just so many options out there that I can't really
describe something as a gamut because that's so useful.
Yeah, it's true.
I want a gamut.
I want a gamut of gamuts.
Frickin' pharmacy, shut up.
I wish I could provide more information for you, Logan, but there's information out there, I'm sure. Steven, five British pounds. Hi Kyle, glad you enjoyed your holiday. Shame couldn't be longer. Just upgraded my 4770K and GTX 980 Ti to a 3600 and GTX 1080 Ti for 400 Great British pounds, and I'm loving it. Thanks for getting my name right. Yeah, I got your name right because I didn't pronounce your last name, Mr. Garamog. I'm sorry, I just butchered it right there. But nice. I would honestly say I hope you kept that 4770K because it probably has higher IPC at least than the Ryzen 3600.
Potentially, yes.
I would assume so. And so if possible, I would also see how that 1080 Ti performs with that CPU because it's still really good. Unless, of course, you're doing workloads that require multi-threaded situations like editing, streaming, then the 3600 is a far better option for sure. But either way, it sounds like you're living the good life right there with that system. So congratulations on it. I hope it serves you well for years to come.
I died.
Lil View, $5. Lil View, I want to mod my case with a custom 5 and 32. 30
seconds of an inch.
5 30-seconds of an inch tempered glass panel. Do you think strong magnets would be a good way to attach the chassis?
Ooh.
I
don't know.
It seems a little sketchy. Unless the system's never moving.
I used the tape from that MNPC Tech sent me.
Right.
Just like this crazy double-sided kind of tape configuration thing.
Yeah.
Stop shooting me!
I don't know if magnets would be the best way to attach glass to a
Magnets
case.
might be hard.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's like potential, but...
Find a way to mount it more securely because magnets are just a little unreliable. Not quite as secure, unless you're just never ever moving the system. But good luck with that. Jacob Twitchell, $5. When I first bought my Google Home, I was telling my friend how much I loved it, and she interrupted and said, "Thank you," which really freaked us out. That's
another scary story.
Really creepy.
Add it to the list.
Really creepy.
Creepy Google Home scary stories.
Sparky Santos, $4.99. No comment. Thank you very much, Sparky. Have a sparkalicious day. Albao 156, 5 British pounds. Good AIO cooler recommendations under $100. I would like to toy around overclocking with my Ryzen 2700X. Good AIO for under $100. I would suggest a 240 millimeter radiator at minimum.
Look for an NZXT Kraken X62 that you can get like on a discount.
That'd be good.
Because they have a V2 of it, and that first version's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It's 280 millimeter.
Yeah. Maybe one of the older Corsair models. They do have some of the older Corsair models on sale sometimes, like H100i or something like that. You can potentially look at those. Honestly, a lot of the good 240 millimeter AIOs that are just like standard Acer brands, they're very similar across the board. The only real differentiator is the fan situation. So whatever fans that they're using, which doesn't honestly have doesn't create a huge difference between those coolers. So if you can find a good 240 millimeter Acer OEM based cooler, I would say go for it. I know Deepcool usually has a lot of good sales on their Captain EX240 coolers, and those have been known to do really well. Pretty decent quality as well. Yeah, a lot of people in chat are also saying Deepcool Captain 240, but there's a lot of options out there, so take your pick. Mike Britton, $5. How are y'all doing? Which is better, Asus 1050 Ti or XFX 570 4G?
Wait, what?
XFX RX 570 4G or an Asus GTX 1050 Ti.
Wait, what? Oh, like a R570?
Yeah, like a Radeon RX 570, 4 GB, or an Asus GTX 1050 Ti. I can't think off the top of my head which one's better. Again,
I don't know if my hit's actually hitting my guy.
Chat's probably got this one in the bag, but my inclination is 1050 Ti, unless you can find a better deal for the RX 570. So I would say it just kind of boils down to the price, because I feel like the performance is fairly comparable, but again, chat might be able to have some better insight on that. 570 for the price and overclocked. Yeah, I mean, there's those two cards, the thing about them is that they're very old by now, so there's bound to be good sales on those cards. So I feel like whichever one has the best bang for the buck as far as like sales that you can find at the moment, that's a good place to start. And also power efficiency is a concern, or it can be a concern, as someone in chat pointed out. If you don't want it to draw as much power, then the NVIDIA option is going to be a bit more power efficient. But look for the prices. For a budget entry-level card like that, price is priority. So look for some good deals, especially as we gear up towards the holiday season. Next up, we have Matt S for $10.
Hey, Matt.
GTX 980 Ti. Is it too old now?
No, I don't think
so. No, not at all. I feel like a 980 Ti is probably comparable to like a GTX 1070, if I'm sort of guesstimating, which is still, like a 1070 is still a really good card that's much faster than the majority of GPUs that most users are using right now. So I feel like you're going to be good for 1080p and even 1440p gaming. The only things you'll be really missing out on are the more modern, up-to-date features like, on the NVIDIA side anyway, ray tracing and DLSS. If you're interested in those things, then maybe you should consider upgrading. But for the most part, a 980 Ti is still going for a good price. Like, you can still like sell your 980 Ti for a good amount, and they're still really good GPUs, even though they're a few years old now. Tropop, $10. Hi, Core i7 3770K, GTX 1660 Ti, 32 gigs of memory. While playing video games that I've been playing for years without issue, I now get freezing lag for a few seconds every few minutes, plus operating system lags. Please help.
I did not mean to press that button. Wait, what?
He's been playing with his hardware for a while now, but now he's getting freezing lag for a few seconds every few minutes. He also gets operating system lags.
Gosh. That situation, if there's
so
no
many
change
things
to the hardware, I would always, potentially take a look at, I finally got him with the charge.
Update all your drivers. Make sure all drivers are up to date.
I would consider like a system restore,
Yeah. Honestly, the first thing I would do is update all my drivers. Then if it's still persisting, I would try swapping out the memory just to see, because memory is the easiest thing to troubleshoot, and it's also a very common part to fail. So swap out the memory, do Windows Microsoft mem check. If that checks out,
really,
then try going for other things. Try swapping out the GPU for something temporarily, and then if all else fails, try doing a clean wipe. Try doing a clean wipe on the drive, fresh install, clean install of Windows. If it still persists, and also make sure that your BIOS is up to date. That should be one of the first things that you check as well. BIOS is up to date, because I mean, if you're using a 3770K, you've got an old Z77 motherboard, probably. And you're putting in probably some fresh 32 gigs of memory, as well as a GTX 1660 Ti. This is very old hardware matched with very new hardware. Make sure that your BIOS is up to date, along with your chipset drivers and all that jazz. That should be the first thing you check, because it's also the easiest thing to update. And then go through all those other steps that I mentioned. And the very, very last option is maybe there's just some corrupted Windows 32 file, some registry file that's either corrupted or missing that could benefit from a clean install. And if that doesn't work, then throw your computer in a fire pit.
Yes.
Watch it burn, baby.
Last suggestion was ideal.
Yeah. Good luck, though.
Thank you.
Godspeed.
Thank you, Kyle, for all those suggestions.
Of course. Next up, we have a $10 donation from Francisco Diaz.
Oh, we lost
Francisco Diaz. I'm thinking about building a new gaming computer. Should I wait for the next graphics card or get the the RTX 2080 Ti? Also, should I wait for the 3950X CPU? Mad props for buy video card to the kid. Oh, thank you. I think he means the Best Buy video. Yes, that was very fun. I'm glad he benefited from that. Let's see. I think you should. It's very little information here. I'm curious to see what hardware you're currently rocking, because I don't know if you absolutely need a 2080 Ti right now. If you do, I mean, you're prepared to spend a pretty penny, to say the least. Should you wait? There's not enough information to go on. If budget is not an option, you're looking for the best of the best, a 3950X when it's finally available, and a 2080 Ti. I mean, you just prepare for everyone to just immediately jizz on your computer. Like, wrap it, like laminate it so that all the jizz from everyone around you doesn't just completely saturate the components and infiltrate all the circuitry until it dies.
It happens all the time.
Dies a jizzy death.
More often than you'd expect.
Absolutely. Had it happen last week. But if budget is a concern, then you don't really need all that, to go crazy. You can, go with an RTX 2060 Super, which is plenty fast for 1080p and 1440p gaming. You could go with a Ryzen 5 3600, perhaps, and that would be a nice pairing for that. If you're doing more content creation, workstation application stuff, then perhaps consider the 3900X, because those additional threads will do you some favors in that department. But if all you're thinking about is gaming and, a little bit of streaming, a little bit of content creation on the side, 3600 would be my go-to choice, and an RTX 2060 Super. Or you could consider, let's not ignore the value proposition that a Radeon RX 5700 or 5700 XT also provides. So look at the benchmarks, from all your favorite YouTubers like me and Paul and others, and make a decision. Good luck. Aaron Gross, Aaron G. $10. What would you recommend as a good gaming setup for people who travel often, such as a gaming laptop or a mini ITX to plug into hotel TVs? Take it from me, who is someone who loves mobile gaming and mobile PC computing. I love taking devices on the go. I love traveling with my tech. A laptop is just infinitely easier. And this is saying a lot from someone who is just a complete sucker for a mini ITX system.
Yeah, we've attempted multiple times, like building little computers to bring on with us on trips and stuff like that.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you can build the tiniest little gaming PC that you want with like a Pico PSU, and you name it, like the smallest little, small form factor build, imaginable. But what really gets you when you're really traveling and when you really want to optimize the efficiency and the ease of use, what really gets you isn't the PC itself, it's the peripherals.
Monitor.
It's the peripherals like the monitor and the keyboard and mouse. Having those three things, I know it doesn't sound like much, but it is a pain in the ass to have a separate carrying case, especially if you gotta like determine, all right, what's gonna be a carry-on and what's gonna be check baggage, and am I comfortable with putting this gear as a check baggage, you know, where it could potentially get damaged? Is it protected enough? A laptop is just infinitely easier in all regards. And you know, if you get a really high-end unit, it can probably do a fantastic job. It can do adequately for what you need it for. So take it from me. If you want just like the fun factor, and you enjoy the challenge, because I do enjoy the challenge of having just like a full-blown gaming desktop PC on the go. If you're really just kind of, if you enjoy making your life a bit more complicated for the sake of a little fun, which is a very niche category, I'll admit, then go for it. You know, I encourage it. But if you're just looking for a no headache solution, laptops are the way to go, man.
Excuse me. I agree with Kyle.
All right, let's move on to
Johnson's.
Johnson, how are you doing over there? Objective failed.
Yeah. I've not been doing very well at Overwatch so far. That's okay.
You know,
got Johnson shoutouts.
Ups
Robert
and downs. There we go.
S from Hawaii. Thank you very much, Robert. Got the
Hawaii.
pub glass. Got the English pub glass. Big old Johnson for you, Robert. Jeannie V from Texas. Also gets a Johnson. Got the women's black thumbscrew t-shirt. Oh, thank you for taking advantage of the fact that I have some women's cut t-shirts.
Nice. Robert, did you say Robert?
Yes, Robert.
Double Johnson.
Robert.
Double Johnson from Robert.
From Hawaii?
Yes. Yeah, from yeah, that's right. Kailua. Bitwit overclocking black ceramic mug. Thank you very much. Double Johnson to you. Double Johnson in paradise.
Indeed.
Jeremy R from Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you for picking up a Screw with Confidence shirt in Heather Olive. That's
Lovely.
actually my favorite item on the store right now. And a Screw with Confidence Tri-Blend t-shirt as well. Probably my second favorite item. Thank you. We've got two more here. One from, Janine, or Jeannie?
Jeannie, yeah.
Jeannie, Double Johnson Jeannie. Also from Texas. What's all the Texans just buying shirts like they're hot?
Texas is better in Texas.
Got a Rip gamepad.
Bigger and better.
Absolutely. Black Heather t-shirt. Thank you. The Rip gamepads, I feel like don't get enough love. I'd love to get one in here and actually start wearing it. And then Joe H from, I'm going to try to pronounce this. It's Wisconsin, but the city is Wauwatosa. Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Thank you for purchasing a BIOS Flasher maroon t-shirt and a Stay Positive Tri-Blend t-shirt. Thank you very much, Mr. Joe from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
Joe also to get that's Double Johnson.
Oh, Double Johnson!
He got a zero insertion force.
He got Double Johnson!
And the captive thumbscrew.
Woo!
The ever always classic captive thumbscrew.
Noise.
Jose T from Illinois gets a Johnson. Got the thumbscrew. Hey, another women's t-shirt. Thank you, Jose, for purchasing the thumbscrew women's t-shirt. Always classic. I think you'll enjoy that. I need to pause real quick to try to capture this point. I just took that dude out. Why?
All right, cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for Q&A and Johnson's. I'm curious to see how Paul does in this match. Walk us through your strategy, Paul. Oh, you eliminated some people there.
I did get an elimination. Wait, I got a couple more Johnsons. Deontay J from Texas as well.
Oh.
This is a Johnson for both of us because it's the Awesome Hardware Robo Love
Texas raid.
gaming
Nice.
desk mat. Thank you
Double
for
Johnson
your patronage there. I hope you enjoy that.
Double Johnson.
And one last Johnson for Devin Z from Canada. SK. Is that Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan?
Szechuan?
Szechuan.
Szechuan noodle?
Szechuan noodles.
Szechuan noodles? Oh boy.
No, get off me. He killed me with his ult.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Devin Z from Canada. Got the men's Oxblood shirt, the RoboLove Tri-Blend shirt, the RoboLove gaming mousepad and desk mat set, as well as an English pub glass. Wow, that's quite an order.
Beautiful.
Very much appreciated for that. And I hope you enjoy them. In the meantime, man, I don't feel like I'm that horrible at this game, but I feel like
you're much better than me.
Keep getting really kind of worked over here when it comes to the.
I mean, some of the gamers in this game are just insane.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, not really. Like, where is my teammates? This is
Yeah.
a team game. Where are
They're
my
all
teammates?
camping. I think your team just sucks.
Yeah.
They're all expecting you to carry.
I don't want to blame my team, but my team
They
sucks and it's not my
fucking
fault.
blow.
It's my team.
Good Lord.
Anyway. Lost again!
It wasn't your fault, Paul.
It's alright, as long as we say good game in group chat.
Everything's fine.
It means we had fun.
Yep. Is that gonna do it?
We will endorse the people on my team. We had 4 DPS people on my team.
Oh my god.
That's super helpful. I'll endorse these.
Not the most balanced.
I'm sorry, but my endorsements by default go to healers and tanks. Because when you're on a team and just everyone chooses DPS and nobody cares, like,
Yeah.
who cares?
I like healing. I like doing other things besides DPS.
I mostly play support characters. But
Yeah, they're fun.
All right.
I think, is that going to do it for
I think so.
the stream? Okay, cool. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We do have a Twitch raid.
Oh.
Which, if you're not doing anything right now, which
That's
clearly,
exciting.
let's be honest, if you're watching us right now, you have nothing important going on.
Exactly.
At this current moment in your life, go ahead and raid KC Brit. That's letter K, letter C, Brit, B-R-I-T. He's currently streaming PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds with 13 whopping viewers. Let's try to make that at least 130. I'm pretty sure we can at least get it to like 2, 3, 4, 8,000. Let's go ahead and raid the shit out of him. Tell him we sent you. Give him some love. Give him that awesome hardware treatment. And we'll see you guys next week. Very soon.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
Bye-bye.